Hello, hello. Sifu here, Jay Kennedy, Artist of Truth. I hope that everyone is having a good day. I'm having an excellent day. I'm out here traveling back to my parents' home. Got a lot of things on my mind though. I'm doing some research and studying lots of things, of course. The reason I began this channel was to help people understand that what they're putting into their bodies and into their mouths and into their minds and how we're interacting with each other does affect every single thing in our entire existence throughout the universe. And dominantly on here, I'm talking about eating raw food. It is a scientific fact that if you eat more than 51% raw food every time you eat, you'll be healthier, less prone to disease and sickness, any type of cancer, depression, any of those things. Scientific fact. If you are consuming more than 51% processed food, then you are at a higher risk for heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis. Every single thing, the body naturally heals itself when you take the stress off of it. You know, raw food and herbs and all of these liquid things like juices and things like that, or even if you just consume something like lettuce, which is very easily, or a banana, very easily converted into a liquid into your body and absorbed if you're not juicing it. When you consume that, you take the stress off of your body, and your body does what it was designed to do. The food itself doesn't heal you, but consuming only that, you promote health within yourself. And once your health is there, your body and your spirit is lifted, your vibration is on a different level, you heal. Regardless of whether it's cancer or anything. I'm not saying that the medical community doesn't have its place, but ask your doctor what nutritional knowledge he has. Take the time to just question him. Ask any doctor, how much nutritional science did you learn in school? When you were going through all the medicine and understanding the body, how much of it is dedicated to nutrition? It's almost non-existent. So they don't understand. It's not that they're trying to poison us intentionally, not all of them. Some of them are charlatans, but most of it's just a lack of knowledge on the subject. There are many people walking around on the street with no degree that understand nutrition very, very well, because they've spent most of their life healing from the poisons that have been pushed into our systems. So I get highly motivated thinking about this. You know, cancer research. And I usually avoid saying anything about diseases and doctors and all, and I always have to say this is not medical advice, because it's not. But who cares what they think? You know, they've been killing us and poisoning us with radiation and everything else for so long. If you do the research and you understand, and you know there are clinics everywhere in the world, with the exception of countries like America, that do cancer treatment with intravenous vitamin C. High doses. When you get the vitamins in your body and the nutrients that you need, the body does what it's supposed to do. Vitamin C kills cancer. It attacks it. It doesn't harm good cells like radiation, but it kills cancer cells. Vitamin C. There's no real clinical studies that you can actually go and read because they're blacklisted. It's a fact. There's a video out, and you can catch it on Netflix, called Food Matters, with teams of doctors, nutritionists, and everyone explaining and exposing these things. Food Matters. Check it out. Don't take my word for it. As always, don't believe me. Do your research. Do your research. And I've even seen where doctors tell people, well, you might not want to take too high a dose of vitamins. It could be harmful for you. And the Vicodin that you're giving me for pain, or the blood pressure medicine and all that stuff that has 8,000 side effects, that's not harmful? Most people don't realize that for a pharmaceutical company to be able to put out a particular medicine, they only need 2 clinical trials without side effects. They show, not even without side effects, they show a positive result. They only need 2 clinical trials. It doesn't matter if they had 4,000 clinical trials to show that it was bad for the body, killing people, everything else. If 2 clinical trials show a positive effect on a human being, they can market that drug. Again, don't take my word for it, research it. But the things that we need grow beneath our feet and around us. A vegetarian diet is the most healthy diet on the planet, an organic, raw vegetarian diet. Period. I don't mean to offend people, but it's a fact, scientifically. But if you are eating meat, if you consume more than 51% raw vegetarian food, and as organic it would be best, but raw vegetarian food, you will be a lot healthier than, and of course there's healthier ways to eat meat. I guess you could drop a steak in a blender and blend it up the way older people did back in the day. They make their protein shakes. You can do things like that, but it's still, you will never ever be as healthy. And I'm going to go throw this out here for criticism. You would never ever reach the level of health and vibration, especially those of you wanting to meditate, that you will if you're not eating dead animals, milk, dairy, all this flesh. You know, adjusting for the sun here. And I'm opening myself up to criticism, but this is, you know, the most of my life research here. And it's not coming from me, it's coming from thousands and thousands of years of research. And even in the modern era, in the last century, there were people writing papers in 1904 about the benefits of vitamin C and how it can help with cancer, and in the 30s and in the 40s again and in the 50s. But you don't see that kind of stuff. And I'm just targeting vitamin C right at this moment. But ask yourself, is it worth taking a chance on maybe double dosing a vitamin that does not contain iron? Of course, there are things that could be toxic. But you know, in 23 years, in the last 23 years, there have only been 10 cases, and they're not even confirmed, where there may have been some toxic levels. People took too many vitamins. But in the last 23 years, there's been hundreds of thousands of cases of people dying from pharmaceutical foul-ups, from medication that stays on the market for a little while. 5 years from now, they change it, they change the name, they do different things. Look it up. In 23, hundreds of thousands of cases. And in some of the trials with certain medications, in the millions. 10 with vitamins and proper nutrition. People always go, oh, vegetarians, how do you eat protein? Where do you eat protein from? Protein is a word that we verbalize to express strung together amino acids. Your body doesn't do anything with protein. It takes it in, breaks it down, has to discard all the puke and the waste that's been put in there in order to just get to the amino acids. So the amino acid is what we use for fuel. Essentially, certain types of water and sugar. And I'm just using layman's terms there for you. Don't go crazy thinking you can eat drink some Dasani and suck down some sugar and be okay. Do the research. I'm motivated. I just talked with someone in a reference to a tragedy with some cancer, and it makes me sick that someone like me is considered a charlatan for talking about, look, everything that we always had. Our species would not be here now if we needed ramen noodles and boxed goods and pesticides on all of our food. If the soil had the proper nutrients in it, 52 I believe, I could be mistaken, then we would not be needing to spray things on it to keep out the moths and the larvae and all that stuff. And half the time the bugs and the things that they come around on the plants, they're helping out. You know, when they're eating it, maybe not. But if the nutrients are there, the plant has its natural defense. The same as in our body. If we have our nutrients, we have a natural defense against almost every single thing. Do your research. I'm highly passionate about this today. No one should die ever from cancer. And if you catch it and you know, in heart disease, you know what the symptoms are for heart disease most of the time? Death. When someone dies. There are symptoms sometimes. But when you have cardiovascular disease, most of the time, it's when you die. And then they go, oh, this is what happened. He had a massive heart attack. This thing occurred. So, do what's right for your body. Adjust your mind. Be willing to take a chance on something that's positive. I love everyone. Talk with you soon.